I'm James Roy, and this is the Bullpen Breakdown, first ever edition where we're going to break down the highlights of the Texans Saints game from this past weekend. Let's do it.
To throw the punches away. He floats one wide open, and there he goes. Tagged down for a Texan touchdown.
Hello and welcome. Today we're breaking down the highlights from the Texans Saints game. I'm James Roy. Let's get right into it. Excited about this W the Texans got this weekend. Let's see, Stroud. Ooh. Now oh my gosh. Big time reception by Dalton Schultz, and I've always been a huge proponent of Dalton Schultz as being the safety blanket for CJ Stroud, so it's nice to see him show up and show out. Oh, elusive. That's what I love about Stroud. He can get out and get it out. Not a completion, but a great play. I wanted the Texans to get a nice pass rush going. Ooh. That's just a rough play by Blake Cashman, who is the highest rated linebacker in the entire NFL right now, per PFF. But and this, that was a big thing. A lot of people were talking about going into this game how hard it was going to be to face Kamara, but watching the Texans play defense, I don't want to say that was the least of my concerns, but it was not my most pressing issue. It was more or less getting the pass rush going to prevent Derek Carr from lighting us up. Yeah, I was surprised. They didn't use him like too much, but Taysom Hill is more involved than I remembered him being. And then this play, this play was major. The missed field goal was huge for the Texans, because without it, the game could have shook out a little bit different, just a little bit. Back on offense, C.J. Stroud. Love to see it. Love to see it. Let the man work. Ooh. Now, if you had told me C.J. Stroud's first pick was going to result in a fumble that was recovered by the offense, I would have believed you. I had no questions asked. Just tell me, oh yeah, he's going to throw it. It'll be picked off, and then the Texans will get a first down. Perfect. Sign me up. This is just wild. That's why they don't like it when like linebackers and stuff run the ball back. Oh, let's turn off these closed captions. That's wild. A nice toss. Now they ran Singletary outside every time. They did not give Pierce those opportunities. Recently had a discussion about that. Interesting observation. And then, look out. I love how he's just so fearless. Sometimes it gets him in trouble. Beautiful throw and catch to Noah Brown, but he's just almost unaware of the rush. I don't want to say he is, but his like pocket confidence is huge. And then, told you, Dalton Schultz, CJ Stroud is going to be huge. Mark it on the calendar, because you're going to see them. I'm not saying give Schultz the extension today, but if he keeps playing like this, you got to consider it. In 1 year, $9 million, he's outplaying that. And then here we go. The run stopping ability of the Texans this year has been better than last year, and that's not a lot to say, but I mean it's been a significant help. They were leaving Derek Carr wide open for run. They got a sack or two. It was a better pass rush than it's been in the past, but this pass rush needs to do a better job of getting in there. It's a shame, because literally Grenard, they got Grenard and Will Anderson lined up on the same side rushing, and it's just a matter of time before someone breaks past there. It's as clutch as Steven Nelson has been to this point. Let's see. Ooh, little tip ball action. Brevin Jordan has been solid. Not a lot of work, but he's done good with what he's got. And then people have been asking for Mike Boone, and this run from Mike Boone was nice. I think it was huge fire starter for this Texans offense. And then this one with Collins has been clutch. He's a solid wide receiver 2 on most teams in the league. He'll be solid once the Texans pick up their true wide receiver 1. Or maybe he develops into it. Who knows? Let's see. And then this, I hate settling for field goals on the goal line. Hate it. Big problem. Needs fixing. Right here, Jimmy Ward stepping in, taking the block, and stuffing the hole, making sure that we make the stop. There's Stroud going deep. Nico Collins, once again, the Texans are using him just right. Appreciate all they're doing with him and how much he has stepped up this season. Another Singletary run. We're not going to see a lot of Damian Pierce in this highlight reel because they ran him inside every time, but Singletary will break one off every once in a while. He's getting all the outside runs, so it makes sense. Oh, here's Pierce. Solid little run. This was probably one of his best runs of the game. Honestly, really close to a touchdown. Love to see it. And that now, 1 minute. Let's pause and talk about that. That's threading the needle. That's what you want to see from your quarterback, man. Like, that throw was exactly where it needed to be, and it was perfect in every way. And it certainly was the difference between winning and losing this game. So, huge, huge throw by Stroud. And Woods, who's been kind of stepping up and being the safety blanket while Schultz gets acclimated, has been major. And I think against the Falcons, he had a couple of drops on passes that like weren't sure things, but him catching the ball is a big difference maker because CJ looks to him in huge situations. So huge for this game that throw was made. Now they did a good job of kind of holding Olave down a little bit. I mean, I think he got away from them late in the game, but it didn't come to anything. Neither team scored more than a field goal the entire second half of the game. So, there, lockdown, and then we head into the half with a nice 17-10 game, just like God intended it. And a little second half action. This screen was actually, I thought it was nice because if it breaks, it breaks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Either way, it wasn't like the safest play call, but it didn't need to be safe. It just needed it had the possibility to go long, but it didn't. And now I believe the Saints started with the ball second half, but our earliest highlight is in 5 minutes in the third quarter. The Texans, nice throw to Dalton Schultz, and this was a beautiful run after the catch. Schultz is progressing. He has a touchdown drop later in the game, but I think that overall he's becoming what the Texans wanted him to be. He's been major, big, probably the biggest offensive free agent signing to at the very least. Him and Robert Woods been huge. Oh, and then here, this play was so frustrating because it looked like it was going to be so good, and the only thing they needed was Pedro. He's wide open, some miscommunication. I love seeing CJ spend all his time on the sideline talking to his receivers, though, building that rapport, working on his chemistry, making sure they're on the same page next time. It's just nice. He's living and learning. Let's see, a little quick pass. Carr was nails all game, as was shown by his 300-yard passing stat line, but it wasn't enough. It just it felt like he got a lot of yards, but the Saints also struggled to finish, which was nice. I put that the Texans defense showed up and helped out. Beautiful, beautiful play at the line of scrimmage, and then this one he makes this one. Yeah, okay. And then CJ, let's see what you got. That was one. If that's not off his back foot, he probably hits it. He just wasn't in a good spot to make that throw. And then Olave, and here Will Anderson's always so close, and I can't wait till all this pressure, distance from the quarterback, all these advanced stats that say he's putting pressure on the quarterback. Can't wait till that comes to fruition and gives us a nice sack, uh, or the sack numbers start showing it. Look, Blake Cashman, what a guy. No good. Major. Once again, missing 2 field goals in this game is huge. We can talk about the what ifs. I have talked about the what ifs, and that last drive changes depending on how it results with that. But the Texans just really they need that. Pete Werner. This is a top tier defense the Texans are going against, and I can, as much as I complained about the usage of wide receivers in this game as running backs, or really my biggest qualm is Tank Dell as a running back, but Hutchinson was good. And see, that's what I'm talking about when I was earlier when I talked about how CJ almost looks like he doesn't know the rush is coming. Like he's confident in the pocket, he'll sit there and he'll stand in and try and make the throw, but like you know, at that point, and he got up after that a little gingerly. I was worried that he might be injured, but um, he has a really good confidence in the pocket, but sometimes he hangs onto the ball and takes that hit. There obviously the offensive line's been pretty good at making sure that's not the scenario. I want to say that was the first sack they had allowed in like 112 snaps or something. It was some wild number. Hey, there it is. Nico on the screen. And this was so beautiful. 3rd and 20. Almost got the first down on it. And I thought the Texans might go for it, but I guess hindsight probably better they didn't. That pressure is just right there. They just can't get off the block and make the play. And then just not great. Oh, and then this is beautiful. Beautiful execution, understanding what the Saints are going to do. It was always Alvin Kamara in the flat, and having the guys there, Shaquille Griffin, Blake Cashman, make the play. Beautiful. Then Stroud deep. Now this one was questionable to me. There's a question of if that ball was catchable. Even as a Texans fan, I'm wondering if that was a pass interference. I mean, either way, the Texans were going to get the yards based on how the play flipped out, so it's not that big of a deal. But I mean, I don't know. Ooh, Stroud, call it. See, I'm always convinced Stroud has someone to throw to, so when he throws it away, I'm legitimately shocked. Like I rarely am like, oh, he threw it away. Wow, that was what I expected him to do. But this is perfect. Perfect. You love going into a situation like this with a 7 point lead. When the other team has to score a touchdown, it gives the defense so much more leeway. Last week, when the Falcons only needed a field goal, we knew the game was pretty much over when that long completion by Desmond Ridder happened. So that was major. This 4th and 10, end it. That was honestly, I would. You got to do the play that's safest, and you got to catch that ball. But if he drops that, probably in a lot better situation because this whole trying to take a knee thing was frustrating. But it's a good game. Appreciated the way the Texans played, and honestly, super proud of this team and excited to see, how they do, in the future. I mean, I hyper focused on the negative, but at the end of the day, this is a Texans win, 3-3 going into the bye week, and this is huge. So this has been a bullpen reaction recap to the Texans Saints game highlights. And thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, you gotta subscribe, drop a comment, tell us what you liked about it and what you didn't. And until next time, I've been James Roy, and see you around, H-Town.